Hi, welcome to lecture number 29 of the Ultimate Python course. Notes is given in the description, so don't write the notes, everything is available. And please watch my video at 2x speed. I am generally slow while explaining. So let's now see about lambda functions. Okay, what are lambda functions? Lambda functions are very important coming to interviews. They will definitely ask you some question on lambda functions. Basically, lambda functions are small anonymous functions. Anonymous means no name. There will be no name for the function, but then you can assign a variable. You can assign a lambda function to a variable and call that variable just like a normal function. Okay, and it is you have to write lambda to define a lambda function. Okay, and they can take any number of arguments. There is unlimited arguments you can take. And return a single expression. It will return only one expression. With examples, it will be more clear. Now, how are you going to write a lambda function is, use the keyword lambda, and after the keyword, put all the arguments that you want to pass to the lambda function, and then put the expression. This has to be a single line expression. If you put multiple lines, there will be syntax error. Okay. Now, for example, if you see this, add 1. So, only look at this part. This is the lambda function. Lambda followed by arguments followed by expression is the lambda function. Now, how do you call this lambda function? You assign it to a variable and then you call that variable just like a function. Now, this add 1 becomes a function. How you call a function? By passing the parameters, right? By passing 10, 20, 10 will go here, 20 will go here. Now 10 plus 20 is 30 and the value 30 will be returned. So whatever is there in the expression, that will be returned. Sometimes you don't want to return anything, you want to print it over there, you can print it, okay? But here it has to be a single expression, okay? So for example, again this is a lambda function. Now you are passing different parameters 10, 20. Now it will return 30. It will return 30 and it is showing you the result. Okay, 30 is being shown in the result, right? So x plus y means 30, right? So earlier what we did, 10 plus 20. Oh, okay, the same thing. So the result is 30. Okay. Now, earlier example only. Now lambda function, whatever lambda function could do, regular function can also do that. So lambda function is nothing. It does not mean that lambda function has special power. So lambda functions are very powerful when you want to send a function as an argument to a function, which means you can have a lambda function and you can pass it as an argument to a different function. You can pass it as an argument. That way lambda function is useful, very useful. Otherwise, whatever lambda function can do, a normal function can also do. For example, for this lambda function, lambda x comma y, x plus y, for this lambda function, the equivalent function is this equivalent function. Okay, so it is taking two parameters and it is returning whatever is there in these parameters, right? So if someone calls add 4 comma 5, it is going to return 9. So basically what I mean to say is whatever a lambda function is doing, a normal function can also do it, right? It is nothing special. So both of them do the same thing, lambda and normal function. Only thing is lambda is anonymous and it has only one line of code. It is perfect for small tasks. If you have a very small task to do, lambda function is perfect. And also using it as a argument to a function, it is easy. Now when you want to add three numbers, now see this. I'm writing the lambda function like this. It has three arguments, x, y, z, and it is returning x plus y plus z. Now if you call this add3 as a function, basically it's a variable which has become a function. Now if you call that function, lambda function, with 10, 25, you are going to get the output as 35, right? Now the same thing can also be done using a regular function. So 3 arguments x, y, z, return x, y, z. Now you are going to see 35, the same thing, okay? So can lambda functions be multi-line? Which means, can you write lambda functions in multiple lines is the question. The answer is no, you cannot write the lambda function in multiple lines. So what I mean by that? See this. If you have a lambda function, if you have multiple lines in it, it is going to give you a syntax error. What is the syntax error? Invalid syntax, right? So syntax is invalid. Now, lambda functions are limited to one expression. You can write only one expression. But then if you have multiple things to return, then it is better you use a tuple or list or any other container types. You can use a tuple or list or a dictionary if you want to return multiple things. See, lambda function by default has to return only one expression. Now by one expression, I don't mean one value. If you want to return multiple values, use a tuple or a list or a dictionary, okay? So for example, here, if you observe it, lambda is taking a argument as x and it is returning a tuple of 3 values, right? Now when I call fun2 is nothing but the lambda function, and if I pass value of x as 2, it is going to return all these 3 as a tuple. See, you can see the tuple, right? Now regular functions can also do that. So in regular functions, if you want to return 3 values, you can say return x, y, z. So here also we are returning 3 values, here also we are returning 3 values. You can do the same in regular expressions. So what I mean to say is regular functions are not different from lambda functions. Lambda functions are simple and easy to write, and they are easy to pass to a function. And if you have very small tasks, go for lambda functions, okay? If you need to perform more complex operations, you should always go for a regular function. For example, if you have 2 or 3 lines of code, you cannot do it in lambda function, right? So here x is taken and on x some operation is done and we got y, and on y some operation is done and we got z. So these kind of functions you cannot do it in lambda. You need a regular function for that. Lambda can only do one expression, that's it, okay? Return statements. So in lambda functions, return statements are not allowed. In lambda functions, return statements are not allowed. And they don't require a return statement. They are automatically configured in the way that they return automatically the expression, whatever expression is required, whatever expression is there, that is returned automatically. And when you talk about subtraction of 2 numbers, you can use lambda easily, right? So a comma b and the value is a minus b. Now if I am calling it, it will return the a minus b difference. That value is stored in sub value 1. Now if I print sub value 1, the difference will be printed, right? So what is the difference here? 200 minus 90, 110 is printed. Now what is the type of the variable that is returned? It is integer, okay? Now the same thing, whatever you have done in lambda can also be done in equivalent regular function. So if you see this, the regular function, you are simply returning a minus b. So see, unnecessarily you are writing the regular function when lambda function can be written very easily, right? It is also doing the same. It is also returning 110, and what is the type of it? It is integer, right? So both of them are doing the same. Now let us see this. Lambda function is taking 2 values a comma b and it is printing the value of a minus b. Now when you call that function, the value of a minus b 55 is already printed. When you call this function, the value of a minus b is already printed. Now it is not returning anything. So if you observe it, this lambda function it is not returning anything, it is simply printing the value. That is why the value is printed. And when it is assigned to subvalue 1, subvalue 1 does not get anything, which means it will get none. That is why if you print the type of subvalue 1, it is none. So whenever you have print statements, it will not return it. If you don't have print statement, it will return the value. Otherwise, it will not return it. It will print it there only, right? Now you can do the same using a regular function also. So you can pass two values to the regular function sub, and you can print the a minus b. Here also, when you call the function with two values, the difference is printed. And if you are trying to assign that to sub value, it is going to get none. It is going to get none. Right? Now, if you see the type of sub value, it is none. Now you can use default arguments in Lambda functions just like regular functions. What I mean by that is, a Lambda function can have default arguments just like regular functions, but then default argument should be present only after non-default arguments, which means at the end you have to put the default arguments. If a default argument is not passed while calling the Lambda, the default value will be used. I'll show you with example what I mean by this. Okay, so see this example. Lambda has name as a value and greeting is a name as an argument. There are two arguments, name and greeting. Now there is a default value given to greeting, that is why it has become default argument. Now default arguments will follow the non-default arguments. This is a non-default argument and this is a default argument. Okay, now you don't have to pass greeting, the value of greeting. You don't have to pass anything to greeting. It will take hello. Now if I call this Lambda function by passing only one argument rbrsr, then that one argument is going into name. Therefore you are going to see in greeting you are seeing hello, and in name rbrsr has been passed. That is why you are seeing rbrsr, hello rbrsr, right? Now if you want to pass both of them, you can pass. Okay, so in this case name is a non-default argument and greetings is a default argument. Okay, now I am passing only one argument, therefore that will go into name. So name will come here and greeting hello will come here. That is why you are seeing hello rbrsr. Now in a regular function also you can do the same. You have done it, right? In regular function also there can be non-default arguments and there can be default arguments. Okay, now when you are calling this greet2, by sending one variable, that value will go to name, and now greeting will be hello. Therefore greeting will be hello followed by name. Even in normal functions also it works the same. Now you can override the default value. Let us say name is not a default variable or not a default argument, and greetings is a default argument which is having a value of hi. Now if you are calling that lambda function with two variables, with two parameters, rbrsr will go to name and hi will go into greeting. It will override hello. Therefore you are going to get hi rbrsr, right? That is why we are getting hi rbrsr, hi comma rbrsr. Okay, now positional arguments can also be there by using a star keyword, right? By using the star syntax, unpacking syntax, we can have any number of positional arguments. What I mean by that is, let us say I have a lambda function with star args. Right? Then I can send any number of positional arguments. All these arguments will go into this as a tuple, right? Now if I try to do sum of arguments, it will do the sum. It will sum all of them and give you the total. The total is given, right? So in the lambda function, I can have positional arguments by using star args. So you need not use the name args. You can use any name. Star A, you can use star R, you can use anything. But if you write star args, then entire tuple will go into this, and the tuple will be used in sum, and you are going to get the sum. Now, if you are passing this entire tuple, it will go into args, and sum of the tuple is found out, which is 1, 1, 1, 3. You can do it using regular function also. How do you do it using regular function? In regular function, you can put star args, and then when you call it, you can pass a lot of positional arguments, any number of positional arguments, and then it will become a tuple there, and you can use operations on tuple, like sum can be used on tuple. Therefore, you can use it. Okay. Now, keyword arguments can also be used in lambda by using star syntax. By using star syntax, you can use keyword arguments. Okay. So what do I mean by this is, just see this example. Now lambda function is taking as argument star quarks. You need not write quarks, you can write any name there. Okay, so star quarks, keyword arguments. Okay, it is a general practice to use star args and star quarks. If you want to change the name, you can change it, but generally it is well known that star args is known and star quarks is known for keyword arguments. Okay, now you can give a dictionary to it. You can give a dictionary, which means you can give key value pairs, right? The argument name and the argument value, argument name and the argument value, argument name and the argument value. Now all of these key value will be taken as key value pairs in a dictionary. So basically, when you are sending keyword arguments, all of them will go into quarks as a dictionary. And name will be the key, Ravi will be the value, age will be key, 27 will be value, profession will be key, and teaching will be value, right? Now, this is a dictionary. Quarks is a dictionary. Now you are asking what is the value associated with the key name. So the value associated with the key name is Ravi. That is where Ravi is printed, right? The expression is, it has taken a dictionary. Inside the dictionary, you are asking what is the value associated with the name. That is why Ravi is printed. Okay. If you want to print the dictionary of keyword arguments, pass to a lambda function. So if you want to see the entire dictionary, so let us say star quarks is there, and you are passing argument name and argument value separated by commas. All of these will go into quarks as a dictionary. Now when you are trying to print the quarks, the entire dictionary will get printed, right? So you can see that the dictionary is printed as name as a key and Ravi as the value, age as a key and 27 as a value, profession as a key and teaching is the value, right? Okay, so that's all for this lecture. So if it is painless for you to do, please like. If it is convenient for you, please comment. If you really love my content, please subscribe and tell to your friends. I hope that I am not asking too much from you. Just click like. Okay, thank you. If you want to take my GATE classes, we go to the website ravindrababuravula.in, and you are going to see all my GATE classes available there. Okay. So coming to the classes, they are all recorded. Why am I doing recorded? Why am I not doing live classes? Is I have thousands of students registering for my courses every year, but then if I conduct a live class, only 20 or 30 people will be there. 20 or 30, that's it. Maximum is 40 I had. The reason is live classes are little bit wasting your time. See, you cannot watch a live class at 2x speed. You have to watch at the pace at which I teach. Generally, I will be very, very slow while teaching. So if you can go through the live classes, you can watch them at 2x speed and you can complete the syllabus very fast. 400 plus hours content is there for GATE. And if you are going to watch them at normal pace, it will take 400 hours. But if you watch it at 2x speed, it will take just 200 hours, right? So if you want any of my GATE classes, GATE Computer Science or GATE DA, the price is just 10,000 rupees. It is very, very reasonable for the kind of quality we provide. We have test series, we have doubt sessions, we have videos, we have lecture notes for everything. Even you don't have to write any lecture notes. I will provide you lecture notes for every subject. You just have to sit back, watch the videos at 2x speed and revise the notes. Short notes will be provided, long notes will be provided, formulas will be written in a separate notes. Everything will be there provided to you. You don't have to work hard. And coming to, if you are planning to go abroad, we also have study abroad program. You can go through my number. My number is on WhatsApp. My WhatsApp number is in the website. If you are planning to do masters abroad, that is a very good choice. It is better than doing masters in India. So if you are planning to go abroad, we will help you out right from taking the passport to getting the visa, US visa, right? So we will help you out in the entire process. Okay. So do visit the website, see what is happening there. Even DSA course is there for 5,000 rupees, which is both in Python and C++. Okay. So thank you so much.